Hello, my name's Tom Lawless and welcome to your energy update. This is the midweek energy update on the 30th of December. What's been going on? Well, we're going to be looking at the heart chakra, see what's happening there because it has been ringing. It is tying into those vibrations that I was talking about in the solstice videos when we were out dowsing and seeing the sequence of chakras that were coming through. So we'll be going into that a little bit and seeing what's happening in the vibrations, how it is affecting our vibrations, our chakras as humans individually, and also what's going on with the sun, with the filaments and the lack of sunspots and the increase of coronal holes. What's going on there with the solar cycle 25? There's also news about a 3-part series that's going to be coming up that we are working on at the moment. That's Tanya and myself, and that should be out very soon. That's all to do with pole shift. That's to do with energy changes. That's to do with human energy changes. The solar system changes and how the solar system's created loads of things. So don't forget, keep tuned in that to the end to have a sneak preview on what's going on there. Okay, but without further ado, let's get into what's going on with the vibrations. So as I said, it's really been an up and down week, a little bit like the Dow Jones, as Gil Scott-Heron would say in one of his songs, fantastic artist. The energies have been jumping up and jumping down, and the sun really hasn't been helping out. It's not giving us that good vibration. Let's just see what's going on with the sun at the moment. This is a composite video that you can see on the left hand side. It's just good to see those filament energies that I was talking about, and that's filament energies. It's a little bit like the cords that run across the surface of the sun, and it's a little bit like stem cells. So it's basically those building blocks of the future, building your being, building the initial vibrations. And what it's actually doing for us here is being able to provide us with that sort of energy that can help us deal with that root chakra stuff that has been there at the moment, and we've had to deal with the fundamentals of the vibrations. And as you can see down in the bottom left here, there was a little bit of a pop off of a bit of a solar flare, but it is just those filaments being released. It's very slow energy, but it does help us to actually sort of put the basic vibrations into place. And this filament energy also signifies the changes from one solar phase to another, from the solar low, which is where we get a lot of corona holes, into the solar high. And this is this whole solar cycle 25 that is coming down and barreling down the road towards us. This week we have seen a lot of coronal holes that have reappeared, and a reduction in the sunspots, so a lot more heavier energy that has been coming through, creating a lot more earthquakes, and significant earthquakes as we've been seeing, and we will be looking at in a minute of how it actually affects the vibrations of the chakras of the earth and therefore the chakras of us. A little bit just above me there, you can see here one of these filaments trying to be forming at the top, and you can see these filaments as they dance across, or they snake their way across the sun. These filaments actually, it's a little bit like when the water's going down the plug hole in your sink, and you get a nice vortex, and that's the coronal hole, and then it sort of all gets sort of clogged up with too much water, and then the coronal hole sort of drops out. So it's helping to reduce coronal holes slightly, and then that will give way for the vibrations of the sunspots. And once they really do kick in, and 2021 is going to be the year where they're going to kick in, it's going to mean that everyone's going to be a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more zippy, and it's going to be a little bit, I think it's going to be very difficult to do any lockdowns in the 2021, simply because the vibrations are not going to, people are going to become very, very frustrated in the whole sort of scenario. Okay, so let's just see what's been happening to the Earth itself and its vibrations. So in the bottom picture, you can see the X-ray flux. Now this is the vibration that normally that comes from the sunspots, the zippy vibrations. As you can see with the blue line, it just keeps dropping out. So you may have had those feelings of things are going really well, you're feeling really good, and then the next day just feeling like, oh, bugger it. Do you know what I mean? And we could see that also in the top picture, which is the magnetic field of the Earth. It's been staying in the mid-range, which is quite good, and it has been dropping out quite a bit. But that has a lot to do with those coronal holes that have been heading our way and creating a lot of those earthquakes. So let's just have a quick look at what was happening since the 24th. On the 24th, we were coming to the end of a cycle, a little bit of a reset going on there. That was just a couple of days, 2 or 3 days after the solstice, and you can see like the earthquakes are compressing. There's nothing on the sacrum at all, which is quite interesting. A lot more on the throat, a lot more on the solar plexus, and a little bit on the root, with the crown chakra just sort of backing it up. So it was a real sort of compression time at that moment and a real reset. And we can see this repeated on the 25th. This is Christmas Day. Root chakra really hitting hard, compressing even more. That's taking a little bit off of the solar plexus. So we're coming back to this whole sort of dealing with root problems, dealing with root situations. It's the idea of going back to the family. So 25th was a really good day to sort of go back to the family and, reconnect with your origins of everything, which I hope everybody had a great day. It wasn't the same as every other Christmas, I think, for most people, but it certainly was a good day to just relax and take time out with the family. On the 26th, this is where the vibration starts picking up again. There was quite a reasonably big one on the crown chakra and on the root chakra still going off, but it is filtering through a little bit more to the solar plexus there. And this is where the changes started happening. This is on the 27th. So this is on the Monday, I think. Monday or the Sunday. The root chakra really getting some good vibrations or getting some really heavy stuff. So you might have wanted to be, sorting all the root stuff out. And this is when the heart starts coming into play. It's trickling off the crown chakra, but it's difficulty of getting there. And then when you look at what I did in the, if you want to have a look, you go back into the playlist. You can see on the solstice videos, I talk about the sequences of chakras that is coming through the vibrations of the energy lines. And I was sort of saying the heart was having difficulty of getting through. And it certainly has been trying to ring the heart, as you can well see there, but it hasn't really done it. And we had to wait a few days as it's still sort of continuing to build on the heart chakra. It's spilling off on the solar plexus. There's still nothing on the sacrum. So it's not about me. It's about us really more than anything else. As we move into the time of Aquarius, it's going to be more about us collectively and how you put yourself into it. And then this was yesterday. Yesterday we had the 6.7 in Croatia, and that was really the heart chakra that rang. For me personally, yesterday was an amazing day. You can ask Tanya. We did some amazing work yesterday, and we've got these videos that we're working on, these 3-part series about pole shift and everything like that. You'll see a little bit about that at the end of it. But we've also working on another little project which has got to do with astrology and also vibrations of star signs. And it was an amazing day. We had, revelations after revelation after revelation. It was a brilliant day. And that because the heart was finally freed up after a little bit of tossing and turning over the days before. That was Monday and Sunday. It finally came through and created that really big vibration or really big earthquake down in Croatia, as I said. Today, we've still got that heart chakra ringing off, but the throat, let me go back a couple of times. You can see that the throat has been playing in more and more. So maybe this is a good time to start thinking about explaining or expressing verbally about your heart chakra, how you feel about things, what you really desire, in the way of emotions, in the way of love and stuff like that. And I think that's a really good moment to do that as we're sorting out these fundamental foundation stuff. It's good to position yourself emotionally at the same time. Okay, so we're in a timing at the moment, and the timing is very precise. And this is all to do a little bit with pole shift. As you can see in the southern hemisphere, these are the vortexes, the polar vortexes, which sometimes the weatherman speaks about. And as you can see in the southern hemisphere, it's really died down to what I was talking about before. It's being pulled towards that South Atlantic anomaly, but in the northern hemisphere, it's definitely picking up. It's definitely getting a lot more solid, and it's actually going to bring a lot more colder weather, I would have thought, this winter. It will make as well anything in the northern hemisphere a little bit more sharpened, intense vibrations, and this could be well to do with the heart chakra as well. What's coming down the sun in the next week for the vibrations? Oh no, look at that, CH. Coming down the line, coronal holes. This is that heavy vibration. It's still not finished with that low sun cycle. And as I've been saying, I do believe solar cycle 25 is going to be spits and spurts. It's not going to be constant. And I don't think it's going to be a very high cycle. I think it's going to be a very low cycle over the next 5 years. And that means it's going to be less vibration for us. But when it does come through, it will create intense energy. So you may have moments like I've been having of amazing amount of energy where you're really zipping, and then it sort of drops out and it falls down to absolutely nothing. Yeah, as I said, we have this 3-part series coming up, so don't forget, subscribe, click the bell, so then you'll be notified as the moment these videos are up. It's also good to have I do appreciate any likes you put on this video. It really does help us, and I really do appreciate it. Certainly sharing as well sort of helps on that sort of section. We're going to be going into these videos about pole shift, energy changes, planetary changes, consciousness awakening, solar system creation, planetary creation, human energy changes. We're going to try and put it into one beautiful little video, or 3 little videos, because there's so much to talk about and there's so much to understand. If you really want to understand about pole shift and energy changes, you've really got to start at the beginning and how a solar system is created. And this is a little bit of a teasing video of what is going on with the sun. And once you sort of pay attention, you can see this sphere being fed by these filament energies coming onto the sun. And as you can do, it eventually just drops off and actually sends off that sphere from the sun, which you can see in this section here. What is that? What is that being created? This is a video that goes back to 2012, for all those 2012 fun lovers, yeah. And this is a real timepiece in magnetic pole shift. Understanding how the sun works is really important. How the sun can actually take away the vibrations and the energies of the of planets and etc. Knock off its atmosphere, changing a planet from a lovely green planet that we have and turning it into something like Mars and stuff like that. It is really important how this can actually happen, and we've got to understand to see what's actually happening so we can evolve individually ourselves. So these are 3-part videos that are coming up. Don't forget to subscribe, like, click that bell if you want to see what's coming on. If you are having problems dealing with these vibrations at the moment, if you do find it's actually causing you a few problems emotionally, physically, mentally, energetically, you know, I do healings online. You can go onto the link of cymaticlife.com/bookings-shop/. The link is down below. I have been doing healings for many people across the globe, in the States and in Australia and in the UK and across Europe. I have done over 15,000 people during my career. I have a very good way of dealing with things. Most people are very happy with the sort of healing sessions that we do. So if you want to do it, go and check out cymaticlife.com, go into the bookings and shop page, and you can book up and pay online for a session with myself. Okay, don't forget, like, subscribe and share, because those videos will be coming towards you. At the moment, try and enjoy your new year. I don't know how many of us are allowed to gather together and what have you, but whatever it does, happy new year to you. Welcome to the new calendar year, because for me the new year is that solstice that happened on the 21st of December. So I'm already in the new year. I've passed my birthday, I've come out of my autumn, and I am now coming into my winter. My energy is coming back into me. I can definitely feel it. If you're a fellow Capricorn, happy birthday for you lot coming up in the next week. In the meantime, I will say to you, ciao for now.
Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.